Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's lair. I'm your host, Larry, and we're back for some more Moonlighter here today. Going to dive deeper into the Golem dungeon. The dungeon available to any old Tom, Dick, or Harry who simply decides that they want to be an adventurer or try to make their fortune in magical artifacts. And we'll try to get deeper in here. I don't necessarily make any specific promises per se, as I don't have my lovely loadout that I was playing with before that was full of delicious enchants and upgrades, but I will definitely get further in here. Alright, dead guy. I like free dead guys. They provide me with the bestest of swag. So where were we when I left off yesterday while we were playing? So the gist of Moonlighter compared with other dungeon crawlers is that this thing kind of focuses more on the fact that you're a merchant as opposed to a big scary adventurer who's going to become the most powerful in the known universe. And to that end, a lot of what you're going to end up doing in this game is going to be min-maxing your bag space so that you don't waste a whole bunch of room on items that aren't particularly useful. Which is why when you go through your inventory, you can hit the right trigger and see what the most recent known value of an item was at different levels. So like the generally happy level for a root was about $5, which would to me mean that I should chuck it because I believe empowering crystals go for about $100 a piece on average, or like middle value. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense for you to go around stockpiling those when you're gonna get rid of most of them or just chuck them later, because they're not very valuable. For right now, I don't have a terribly great way of dealing with junk in my inventory, so to that end, I'm probably just going to book it to the second level so we can get a useful tool. That isn't to say everything's useless. Iron bars are always useful. I think glass lenses are not used for anything. Yeah, I don't think those are useful for anything but selling. So we'll jump down to the second floor. And the other thing I like to do is keep an eye out for all of these wonderful fountains because they're magical and they heal me. And I would just as soon use any free healing potion I have available until I get better stuff. Healing potions, or especially early on from what I've seen, tend to be a really expensive thing. Like, they will really hurt your pocketbooks if you get hit a lot to begin with. So, aha, we have found a lovely journal entry. What is this? This is one of the strange devices that creature dropped when he fled. So this is that guy that we found last episode. I swear he's like our grandfather or something. Everyone knew he was in here searching for stuff, and then he just disappeared. This one's rich, actually. Almost quite literally rich. For every item you place into this device, gold of some perceived value drops out of it. It's great if you need to use your pendant in a pinch. The device looks like a mirror, so I'm just gonna call it a mirror. Keeping it simple. I do wonder, though, where do the items dropped inside of it go? And am I getting the best deal here? I like how that's the main concern. It's like a magical teleportation device, or in this case, this huge, like, magnifying glass looking thing in the corner that we can literally use as our trash can. So this is actually going to be very useful. I'm not keeping anything under a certain value, like teeth stone or anything. Or these vines, that can all just go in the garbage. That stuff I know for a fact is not really used for anything and is relatively worthless. And that's going to give us random money as we go. It's useful for powering up your pendant, because the pendant is powered by magical loot. So either you gotta have enough loot to trigger it to begin with, and then you've gotta have enough gold to pay the piper, as it were. So hopefully you have enough stuff in there to pay for the cost of that and make some profit, or else your trip to the dungeon is going to be very disappointing unless you die a bunch of times and simply get good in the interim. And there's also another item we get pretty soon, I believe, in the next floor. It's kind of like the starting area thing. every floor has got more goodies to begin with, and then you're kind of set with your kit for the rest of the game. The other detail I'll probably get to in a second here that showcases... What does this do? Oh, I can actually block these guys. Ah! Don't laser me. Fine, I'll deal with you first, you stupid giant death ray things. As I was saying, there's another detail in this game that I think is kind of interesting that really drives home the fact that this is a game about inventory management as opposed to anything else. And that is the fact that you can get cursed items that only fit into specific slots inside of your bag. Oh, it's a mimic. Of course it's a mimic. Of course. Hey, buddy. Oh, that's cool. You don't need to do that. Oh, these things suck. I'm gonna use a healing potion right now. So I actually think it's kind of cool that they have some throwbacks in this game, like mimics that you can fight. Ow. That's cool, man. You don't gotta do that. But yeah, there's inventory items in this game that you have to worry about because, like you'd imagine with stuff that is all about inventory management, you can get cursed items that will only fit into certain slots inside of your bag. Which I was hoping I was about to showcase up until the chest we were about to fight decided to come alive, but that's neither here nor there. And those really just look like a weird red buff on top of the item. There are things like the item can only be stored in the top or the bottom or the left or the right, or it breaks after you get hit a couple of times, which is sort of annoying when you're starting out the game. Ow. I need my other weapon. It was so much better, and it had better reach, too. The little dinky short sword is nice to begin with, because you're familiar with sword and board in a lot of games, but oof, for right now, it's really hurting. I'm also hoping to find... Oh, this guy. I hate these guys. So these guys, unlike the other knights, can only be attacked from one direction, and they are the mage golem of this dungeon, where they can shoot you, and if you run into them, they'll do damage to you. So in close quarters, these things really suck. So in general, walk behind them, stab them in the butt, they'll just kind of let you do it. Unless you're far away from them, then they'll shoot you in the face. Very neighborly thing to do, that. Fill you full of magical lead, or some other magical jism that you're not entirely certain you want to talk about in polite company. Oh, here's what I'm looking for. Sweet. Healing fountain. Never leave me again, you free delicious heals. So the idea, as well, of this game is that while it's procedurally generated per se, it's not entirely random. There are patterns of behavior you can come to expect from the game that give hints at the direction that you're going, so you don't spend hour upon hour trying to find the boss room. You have clues as to what direction. The first clue from the spawn room, or the room with the doors from the upper level, is that whatever direction contains this magic fountain is the direction that you'll inevitably find the door to the next level or the boss. So here's what a few of the curses look like. These are things that will break other items. In this case, this thing means that anything in the direction of that arrow will be destroyed upon leaving the dungeon and going back to town. That's easily mitigated by simply putting these on the edge of your inventory, or using a curse like this one, which will actually allow us to break other curses. Which is really handy, because both of these items are kind of nice to have, and I think those stones sell for a reasonable amount of moolah. Looks like that's the door to the next area, so we lucked out pretty quickly. I'm gonna try to fight these boys before I deal with their friends. Yeah, if you could not... Ow! Stab it! Try to kill you and not get lasered to death. These are definitely one of the enemies I like having upgraded weapons for, because they consistently beat me up no matter what I do. And of course, whenever possible, I like to try and heal back up at the local fountain, because you're not really going to be provided with a whole heck of a lot of opportunities to get free healing. Am I not allowed to use my pendant while swimming? Apparently not. Apparently I can't relax in the jacuzzi and use my merchant mirror to dispose of known junk while swimming around. Go figure. I don't remember if whetstones are used for anything, per se, so I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. I tend to go back to town and then just Google a bunch of stuff to see what the wiki says it is for value, and then I dump everything or just sell it for really cheap so that the locals will just pick it up off me and I can save some space. So the boss is at the end of the 3rd level, and it's kind of what I would expect from down here, to be honest. At least for the first dungeon. But we also get another item, which is kind of like our pendant, but a little bit more expensive and a lot fancier sounding. So one more item dropped by that strange jelly creature. This one is a little bit more straightforward than the mirror. Similarly to your pendant, if given enough gold, a portal can open to safety, but, and this is a big but, the portal remains open after use, meaning one-way travel back to the very spot that you departed from. Simply amazing, very convenient. For the time being, let us call it the Catalyst. Quick tip, Catalyst requires quite a bit more gold than our pendants, and, you know, use it sparingly. So basically for 2k gold right now, I can open up a town portal, and that lets me go to and from like I'm playing Diablo again. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing and gives you some options, especially if you're in a ripe and valuable dungeon later that you would like to explore a little bit further. Oh, come on, you silly slimes. It's so freaking annoying. These things are just a giant pain. They try to eat you and then hold you there so that the rest of the mobs in the area can beat the pants off of you and make you waste health. Not particularly dangerous now, they can be really dangerous later, and I don't know what happened to that other slime-smashing fist, but he just died for free, and I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. So what are we getting here? We got some mystery documents, which I am definitely going to keep a hold of. In fact, I'm going to junk these in place of this item. And anything that is going to break for the moment, I am going to junk until I get better stuff. Some of these are quite valuable, but I've already got a couple of them, so I'm not going to stress myself out thinking about it. That could definitely be valuable. Yeah, definitely valuable. So I'll keep a hold of those, and then what do I want to dump? These plant parts are kind of useless, I believe, and I don't think you can sell them for a ton. I know these water lamps are okay-ish. I think I sold those for like 25 bucks a piece. And then the golem volume, I know for a fact is valuable, and I'll use that to convert this plant fiber into something valuable. Are petals valuable? I have no idea. Oh, I can consolidate these. That's definitely something I can do. There we go. That's kind of the gist of this. You want to manage your inventory so you get out of here with as much goodies as possible. So this is actually the one reason I'm finding that I really want to keep a hold of at least one shield, so that when I deal with mobs that want to rush me, like these roly-poly balls, I can deflect them and then kill them a little easier. Yeah, I like that. So I'll definitely be keeping a sword and shield around. The other weapon I'm finding I really like are the punchy fists, where I can pretend like I'm One Punch Man. Those are nice because you can do this bob and weave routine where you punch in, do a bunch of damage, and then just back away really fast. Especially useful for things like these guards here, because they do a lot of damage and they tend to let you get a couple of hits in and then bob away. And pretty much anything that's really big and nasty and hits really hard, I just as soon duck in, get a hit in, duck away, and then not worry about it. Ow. Okay, I'm getting greedy here. There we go. Wunderbar. I'm still trying to decide what exactly these things are supposed to be. I feel like they're like temple custodians, like a really elegant Roomba that's just trying to clean stuff up so that it keeps things tidy. I don't really need to make duplicates of these stones. It'd be nice if this thing could make duplicates of itself, but I'm not going to worry about it for the very moment right now. And I'll probably just sell all of this, because you're going to get a lot of particularly valuable stuff soon. And I'm debating if I want to wait until we get all the way to the boss. Because the boss is really soon, but I don't really have a lot of upgrades. And I also don't have a lot of good weaponry. So I'm going to actually go back for right now. We made it all the way to the 3rd floor. Didn't get beaten up too badly. And we've gotten quite a few things. We got a few really nice chests. We killed like 50 things. Got a bunch of nice loot. Let's go back to town and sell some of this. So it's daytime. Usually it's daytime by the time you get out of there. The dungeon really likes it if you don't stay past dawn, and that'll become more apparent as to what that means soon. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna sell some stuff. How much were golem cores? I think these were like 150. Golem volume. How much was a golem volume? So I think golem volumes were about 400 a pop. So I can sell these each for 400 for about 1,600 bucks. The rune tool I know I need for stuff, and these golem minion designs are just vendor stuff. I believe these ones sold for about 1,000 bucks a pop. And that'll be good for our first round of sales for today. Make a nice tidy little sum. A good few of these I think are still valuable. Like I know you need water spheres for something, metal rods, rune tools. Jury's out on the white stones. Same with these gold runes. Empowering crystals are used for enchants. And I know life fluid is also something that we can junk almost immediately, so we'll probably go ahead and do that. So let's open up our shop and see what we can get. So if I played my money right and I was conservative in my pricing, they should be relatively happy with what they find. Okay, so these golem things are way too expensive. Let's dump these down by like 50 bucks. That's sort of how you can tell. People get angry at you for not having the perfect price for everything. I'll sell these for, oh, about 100 bucks. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, that guy's happy with the price of those crystals. Good, good, good. Gonna make me all of my moolah. Actually, we've already made like over 4 grand, so we could definitely afford to go buy the Enchantress, who also is our alchemist, and from there we should be able to also start building some of our major upgrades and build different weapons that I like a lot. But since I'm kind of digging the sword, I might actually just upgrade it immediately and not worry about the rest of it. Really, that's too much? That's too much for these? How much were these then? These were like, what? 400 maybe? Let's try these at 400 and see if we get any takers. I know some of those golem schematics are worth a lot, like up to 2,500 bucks a pop, but I don't know if that's these ones in particular, per se. Because they all have a similar looking icon, so whether or not that's the one you want, who knows. So what do we got? You got a good taker? Is that a good price? Come on. Yeah? Okay, good. That was like half of what I had before. So perfect. Alright, we're getting a kind of feel for it. Life essence? Why don't we try selling some of this other stuff? I know this water's not used for anything, so let's just sell that for 50. And then this thing here, we'll sell this for like, I don't know, 100. And then petals. Petals seem like junk to me, but I could be wrong. We could have a lot of alluring romantics in town that want to spread that out for Valentine's Day, which is coming up soon, so, you know, I won't judge. I've had some similar thoughts about that recently, so, you know, good times. Alright, so apparently whatever I priced that at was way too cheap, because he was like, huzzah! Perfect price. I'll take that off your hands. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Well, you don't know without you trying or looking at the wiki, so... yeah. Good way to make some extra scratch and get rid of my stock for the day. So that'll probably, once we go take a look at the blacksmith for the night, be the end of this particular episode. And then I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm completely fine letting these run over what I would normally, just because I'm not too worried these days. So what do I need for the rest of these? I need cloth if I want to make a cloth headband. I need some... Oh, I actually do need that stuff that I was throwing away, those toothstones. I need more iron bars and rods. And those spheres if I want to build certain types of armor. And if you look here, certain types of armor have different stats than others. Some of them increase or reduce speed. And the exchange is you get less health when you go faster as a perk to having bigger and badder armor. What do I need to upgrade this sword? I really just need, Oh, I do need some of those whetstones, and some of those little hilts-looking things from in the dungeon. Alright. Well, I'll keep an eye out for those next rounds. That'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. This has been more Moonlighter. Have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and bye, everybody.